Hi, my name's Lauren, and in March of last year, I bought this 3-bed terrace house in the Midlands. Join me as I document my renovation and create this space into a cosy home with the help of my wonderful family and a limited budget. Hello and welcome back to part 2 of my bedroom makeover. As you can see, a few things have changed if you watched the previous video. I now have a bed in here. I have this cute little chest of drawers, which was kind of donated from my parents' house. And I have this mirror I had in my old house as well, so I already had that. And I'll show you the rest of the changes in a minute. So I've got a few things left to finish the room. I've got a picture to put up here. I need to shorten my curtains. So the curtains that I've used, I don't know if you can quite see them, but they are like a dark green olivey linen and they're really long. They were in my old bedroom, but the floor, well, the windows kind of, I have put the pole up quite high, but they are so long. So they need a lot chopping off. I need to sew the bottom. I never actually did that in my old house. I just left it kind of raw edge and kind of folded them up on the floor. But they need doing. I want to get them really neat and properly sewn up this time. And then after that, I think I'm just a bit of decorating. So maybe some stuff on this chest of drawers, and I have a shelf above my desk, which I'll show you in a minute, and I would like to dress that. I'm thinking maybe like, I've got a few things on it at the moment, but I'd like to make it a little bit more springtime because it is, it's nearly April. So that I'd like to put a few things on there that I like, maybe blue, yellow, greeny kind of colours to kind of lift it. I'm not sure what I've got. I'm gonna have to go through my stash and see what I can decorate with. Let's go. Ooh. Okay, this is the picture. It's a nice, like, I think it's an old film poster. I bought it from an antique fair a really long time ago, and it was in my old house, also above the bed. But you know, you use what you've got, and I still love this, so I don't need anything new. So I want to put it in the middle, but not too high and low, and I've got this bar that ideally I could put a screw in right there. So there is some ribbon on the back, so I could hang it there, but I could also hang it, I think there, that point. I think that's too low. So that's what I've got to play with. Right, what does this look like? There. Or I think there. I think that one. But I'm gonna have a look from a distance. Oh, it's heavier than I thought. So the thing's 8 centimetres. I'm going to drill a pilot hole first before I put this big screw in. I don't think it'll make much dust. I need it to stick out a bit, I think maybe more than that. There's a lip on in the wood. That hopefully that will sit on. Oh shit. Oh no. Sawdust in the bed. Sawdust in the bed. That ruins it, boy. I might need that ribbon to hang it up again, so I'm just going to keep it behind there. I could just eyeball it or get my tiny level. I might just eyeball it. Right, let's have a look. Stand back. Here we go. What do you think? I think that looks pretty in the middle, very neat, just how I like it. Yeah, I think that's I think it looks better in real life. I think it does look better in real life. It looks a bit small on the camera. Right, I'm down here now and I need to tackle these curtains. As you can see, there's a lot more fabric than I actually need. So I need them to be floor length, so that's about this much. And then I'll hem them. So I'll get that excess cut off and pin them up in a minute. And you may have noticed, if you saw the last video, you know that this is new. My little kind of cafe curtain, sort of privacy curtain as well. I recently made this from a tablecloth and I've got it on a tension rod, like a brass tension rod I got from Dunelm. And it's really good because it lets light in at the top of the window, but this bit I can have that closed all day so no one can see in. So I'll cut to me making this curtain while I pin and chop off the excess of these. To make my life easier, I used the already hemmed edges of the tablecloth and cut down the middle, creating 2 pieces the correct length, plus seam allowance for the top seam. This left me with a bit of leftover fabric which I was hoping to make the ties out of, but unfortunately that was not meant to be, as there wasn't nearly enough, so I had to think of another plan. My mum gave me some of this excess ribbon and I really wanted to tie it in bows at the top, but that was excessive ribbon that I didn't have. I tied it in just a knot and started cutting the ribbon to size. Then came another issue as I ran out of ribbon, only having enough for one curtain. My mum came to the rescue again after some discussion and I decided on 2 different colours of ribbon alternating, emanating the stripes on the curtain. I sewed the top seam, then I finally tacked on the ribbon at equal intervals, as I was worried the sewing machine might ruche it up if there was only a pin. And then I sewed the ribbon along the very top edge. All that was left to do was unpick the tacking thread and tie them onto the brass tension rod. So it's a few days later and I've cut and pinned the bottom of both of my curtains and I'll get them sewed up today, so that'll be another finished project. I also forgot to mention one of the biggest changes in this room is my new carpet, and that has made a massive difference to the room. It makes it much more cosy and like a proper room rather than those dusty floorboards that were there for so long. So this is my current desk setup. I have had this desk for a really long time and it's been in various rooms in my house and it's just been at my parents'. I'm thinking it's a, for now, piece of furniture in this space. It doesn't stick out as much as I thought it would, so it does stick out slightly more than the wardrobes. But because it's got rounded corners, it doesn't seem like it's in the way or anything, and it's not as wide as the gap. So eventually I'd like something slimmer and probably either the same width or wider. My dad put this extra socket in for me so I can plug like my lamp and my hairdryer in. And I've got this shelf up here for all those decorative pieces. And I've got a mirror to put here. I'm going to put that up just now. It's a round one that I used to have in my old bathroom, and I thought that would look quite nice here. So I want it low enough so that I can see to do my hair in the mirror. So I don't really want it up there. We'll see how big it is and see where I want it. So this is the mirror. I'm hoping just one screw will hold it up to this hook. If I put it in the middle, which is about there, I think, oh, I can just about see myself. Maybe there. That's way too low. That looks stupid, I think.
Oh, but it's fine here. Oh, I don't know what I want it to look like. It's harder than I thought. Maybe that looks like it's part of the desk. Yeah, if it looks part of the desk, not part of the shelf is like too high up for it to be like as one. And that is a really good height for me to sit at. My face is like right in the middle of that mirror. And I can't see properly. I need to move this desk out of the way. Oh, it's low enough to know that it's part of this. That's what I'm telling myself anyway. The perfectionist in me is struggling with it a bit. I'll get used to it. Okay, cool. I'm going to dress the shelf now, make that all look all pretty, and this section will be done. These are a few pieces I've picked out from my stash of vintage bits. I wanted to go with a spring colour palette of yellow, green and blue, and I had these eggs too, which I thought was quite on theme with Easter coming up. It's nice to have a collection of items to choose from when decorating a space, so I probably won't use everything, and some of these will end up on my Etsy shop. So at the moment, all I've got up there is these two pictures, prints really. So these snowdrops are a new addition. I've just bought this. My friend Chloe, what are they called? Lino. Can't think of the word. Lino cuts by Chloe, who is part of the art club that I go to. So I've just recently bought that from her because I thought it was a nice, the spring, the green that I like. I thought it would go in a lot of places in my home. So I didn't know whether to use it here, but I don't know if it's too small. And I haven't got a frame for it yet. And even when I've got a frame, it's sort of self-mounted. She prints them so they're sort of, you only need a frame, you don't need a mount. So if I had a mount, it would add extra either white, or I could do a different coloured mount, maybe if I wanted it in a bigger frame for more impact. But I think up there it's a bit small. I needed some height. That's why I've added this one here. I have a feeling this might be a lino cut too. It's just like a test piece. So I've changed the frame. It was in a different frame. I've added the darker wood because the frame that it was in was lighter wood and it looked a little bit weird. This shelf is really orangey pine. And then the one I had up previously, which is this, that's probably too small. This is an old watercolour painting that I think my great granddad did. I think it was my great granddad, not my great grandma. He liked doing like landscapes in watercolour. But I thought maybe that frame, maybe that would look good in that. I'd have to cut it down a bit, which I don't really want to do. But I thought that would look nice. Maybe look nice in there. We'll see. So that print, that might go over on my bedside table. Might pop it there for now. So I'll keep working with this one that I've got up here. Now I need more height still. So I've got these bottles and I've got some daffodils that I might pop in there for now. I think they would be nice. And I've got a third one. Got this green one that was up there originally, and that's a bit smaller. So maybe something, I'll do something with them. If they have flowers in, white, yellow flowers, because I think it's a bit dark. I'll work on something else that side with the books. I've got this British Wildflowers book, and it's got, well, it has weird little notes in it. Let's take them out. Piece of paper, right. And I didn't know whether if that was propped open, because I think I've seen some primroses. They first appear in March and may be seen from then until the end of May. And then Sweet Violet and Wood Anemone. And then I think the next is a little bit later in the year, April to June. And we are just in April. I'm not sure how to work that in. Maybe if I have got a little egg. Maybe this little egg can keep this page open for me. This is too dull. Once the flowers are in, actually, maybe that will make it look better. Things are better in odd numbers, so I'd say 1, 2, 3, 4, and then maybe the books are together 5. I think what I need is another picture. What's that? That's so small. That looks ridiculous. Gonna look better. That's another project done on my house. I hope you've enjoyed following along. I've really enjoyed doing this project. It's so nice to have a room in the house that's completely done and where I can come and relax and ignore all the other things that need doing in the house. If you'd like to follow along the journey of me doing this house up, please consider subscribing and like this video and tell me what your favourite part is in the comments down below. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye!